Microphone check 1 2. Yo, what it is? What it up? I've got my tea. It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot indeed. And I just wanted to get on here and yap. My cat passed away today. Her name was Luna. It was very sad, I never was the type of person that could get a lot of pets and stuff growing up. And so Luna was here. That's the longest time I've ever owned, a pet, But she gave me 4 litters on separate times, 4 different litters of fresh kittens. So I feel like she served her, she had a good life. I treated her well. I named her after the Sailor Moon cat. I think everybody does that. I think Luna is actually the most common cat name. Alright. What else could be a common? I don't know. The name Luna is like the Mexican name Jesus. It's just everywhere, But that was my Luna. But I didn't get a chance to bury her. Because I don't know when animals and stuff, when they're nearing the end of their life, instinctively they want to go find someplace quiet to hide, and burrow up to. It's just in their nature, that's what something in them that tells them to do. And the thing about Luna was she was always running all around the neighborhood, So I walked all around the house and up and down my street to see if I can find her, but I couldn't. So yeah, I'm gonna miss her, but I do have. Well, I had 4 of her kittens, but 2 of them, one of them died, but I don't think the other one, there's an all-black one, I don't think that one might survive too. But the other 2 are pretty healthy, and their bellies are fat, and they're alert, and they're moving, so it's pretty cool that I'll have something, a piece of her to remember her by, And then I also have Dot too. Dot's not, Dot's just Dot. He's a fat ass. He's the biggest. He's not even as old as he wasn't even as old as Luna was, and he's already fat as hell. I'm gonna cut his balls off. Get him real fat. When you cut the balls off a cat or a cattle or anything, they just get fat, So that's what I'm gonna do to Dot, because I don't really want him going around making a whole bunch of babies. But I'm gonna miss Luna, yo. I got her when I worked in the hospital kitchens. I got her from these 2 coworkers. Hers had just had babies, and they gave them to me. And I go, "You want a cat? Okay, we'll bring them, but you gotta feed it with milk." And she was little, and she would fit the palm of my hand, and I used to feed her with milk. A milk bottle, not a milk bottle, but a syringe. And then when she got bigger, I fed her with a little bottle, and then eventually she could just eat cat food and all that. But yeah, that was my Luna, yo. She used to follow me everywhere. When I would get home from work, she'd always be waiting in front of the trash can, right at the entrance of my garage door. All the time. Even before when I was before I was at Chipotle, when I was at Regal, because I was at Regal before Chipotle, and then before Regal I was at Foodsco. She would always be waiting right when I get off, So yeah, that happened. And I'm pretty, I don't know. That's life though, Every life in this world is gonna one day fizzle out, But she did good. She was a great cat. She was a great companion. My Luna. Let's all close our eyes and have a moment for Luna, a little of silence. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for saying, good night, Luna. Anyways, what did I wanted to talk about? Yo, lately, I don't know what it is with my job, dude, but it feels like, because I'm not a gossiper. I don't gossip about anyone, even if they're not even workers. If they're just regular people, regular relationships, I don't gossip. It's not something I do. But lately, it's been weird. It's been totally, like, the other day, I went over there in the morning, right? And I seen one of my coworkers whom I thought we was tight, you know? I thought we was tight. And I was like, hey, yo, yeah, what's up? What's up with you, bro? What's up with you, dude? And it's like, he didn't even say nothing, bro. He saw I was right in front of him, but like, and I kept trying to get his attention. Like, he didn't have headphones in, and everybody was looking at him while I was talking to him, but he didn't say anything. He just walked around like he didn't know me. So that kind of gave me an idea that there's a lot of misinformation or just drama being spread that I don't know about, or people have come up with their own false narratives and stuff about me that are just, I don't really know. I don't know. Lately, I feel like people be jealous, and I'm not trying to sound like a dick or anything, or like, what's the word, conceited or anything, but I really think, because it's weird, man. You don't gotta, there's nothing about me special that you gotta be jealous about, guys. There's not. I'm not special, you know. I'm not. You'll hear the playlist shift from all these different languages. That's not special. Just listen to a different language of music and put it on Discover, and you'll find something you like. Nothing special about it. You know what I mean? Take the time to learn it and listen to the music and the language. You know what I mean? Take the time to learn it. Understand what they're saying. Seeing what they rapping about, you know. It's not special. You know what I mean? Even when I whistle, it's cool, but that's because when I was in music class when I was a kid, my tuba teacher, he didn't teach me how to do it, to play it. He would just like kind of make fun of me, and he would like embarrass me in front of the class. And so I couldn't learn how to read sheet music, so then I just learned how to whistle every single note. And so now everything, so that's pretty cool. That's something that you could say, hey, that's pretty unique, you know? But I mean, it's something I learned how to do, you know? And a lot of people can learn how to do things. It's not hard. You just gotta want to. You gotta be like, don't be jealous of me, and don't ever think that I'm in, like, there's some weird competitive thing going on with me or the next person or anything, because I promise you, bro, it ain't even like that. It'll never be like that. As I coast through life, I never compared myself to the next man. You know what I mean? I've always lifted them up, called them brothers and shit. You know what I mean? If I guess you could say my personality is a bit unique, but thing is, that's just a lot of my personality is taken from characters and shows and TV shows that I watched growing up. When you point to the screen and be like, that's me. I still do that, you know, because you learn a lot of stuff from different shows, and a lot of shows and a lot of characters can teach you how to carry yourself. If you didn't have anyone in your life showing you how to carry yourself, you know what I mean? You had media, you had shows, you had TVs, you know? And so, yeah, there's nothing for me to be jealous and compete with me with, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of it could stem from I don't look the same as I did like a year ago or 2 years ago. But really, if you really want to get like me, if you really want to be like me, nigga, fucking delete your Instagram. Unfollow all the sluts and hoes and OnlyFans bitches. Delete the whole entire shit. You don't need it. Delete your Snapchat. Delete it. You don't need it. Why would you even be on Snapchat? I never rock with Snapchat because I don't like filming my face. Yeah. Delete your fucking Facebook. Ain't nobody on there but people that have passed away and just people starting new meaningful relationships and having kids. Delete it. You don't need to. You're just gonna compare yourself to you're just gonna compare yourself to everybody else. So it doesn't need to be here. What else we got? Instagram, you delete it. Snapchat, delete it. Stop watching red pill content. Them niggas ain't talking about shit. They aren't. Bro, they actually teach you how to be a worse person. You know what I mean? But I talked about that in my last episode of why the red pill guys were bad. Open a book. Read a fucking book, bro. If there's something you don't know, study it, bro. We are living in everything you could ever possibly want to know is right at your fingertips. Keep your TikTok. If you have a hard time trying to be motivated, right? If you can't find motivation in life, unfollow every thirst trap, slut, whatever on TikTok, anything that's trying to grab your attention, and replace it with motivation. Something motivational. So when you open the app, sorry about that. When you open the app, you just see something motivational. And that will compel you to, do what it is that you gotta do. You gotta get really comfortable with just being alone. And I've always been alone. I've been alone for a while. There's no one in my phone. I have my next door neighbor. He's a lot older than me. He's sort of like my grandpa when you think about it. But I can text him and be like, yo, what up? And he's like, yeah, you want to help me come cut my grass or something like that? So he's there. And that's it. And maybe I did push away a lot of people, but there is no one in my phone to be like, hey, what up? Come through. Let's hang out. That doesn't happen. That hasn't happened in so fucking long, dude. Probably when I left high school. That's the last time I remember having a small friendship circle. It was in high school. I've just been me this whole time. You know what I mean? So I'm just so comfortable just living like this. It does get lonely sometimes. It does. But that doesn't mean you should be jealous or compare yourself to me. Because there's nothing special. When you wake up in the morning and your foot touch the ground, hit those Zack squats from Final Fantasy. You just dips, hit those Zack squats, bro. Just get like me. Cancel your gym membership. You don't need it. You want to get like me? Order fucking, get a Nintendo Switch. If you got one, that's cool. Buy fitness boxing. There's multiple versions. I have the Hatsune Miku version because I like cute shit. Doesn't matter. I'll lay a nigga on his ass. But there's other versions you can get. I like Miku. Do it every single fucking day. Every single fucking day. Do it. Even when you're tired. Even when you're sick. When you're depressed. Just do it. Just get up and do it. 30 minutes a day. Every single day. If you see me, I have become a sort of person that's been attracting a lot of attention, good or bad. You could do the same thing, bro. Take better care of yourself. Follow a lot of accounts that want you to do better. And stop, it's what you consume. You know what I mean? Wash your ass. Get the fuck up, wash your ass every single fucking day. I have been washing my ass for the last fucking 200 something days straight. Brush your teeth every day. Clean your skin. Yo, do skincare. It's not gay. It's not gay to take care of yourself. It's not gay to let the water, get in your ass and you clean yourself. But a lot of people, they walk around, you know what I mean? That's why I look the way you know what I mean? Because I take really good care of myself. Clean your feet. You should absolutely, I'm on my feet all the time. I walk everywhere because I genuinely enjoy walking. That's the only space where I feel like I can sort out my thoughts, like a bulletin board. And it brings me a lot of peace, And I feel anxious in vehicles, but that's something for another, you know what I mean? Yeah, dude. Just take care of yourself. It's what you put, dude. Read books, yo. Books are so fun. If you're scared to be alone with yourself, read a book. Take you to so many, I didn't even It's been a long time since I had read books. I read the Air and Tifa 2 Pass, and now I'm reading Nier Automata. I was gonna read the other Final Fantasy, the one with Noctis and Luna, but I feel like I gotta replay that game. I have it, but I just cracked open Yorha Boys, and I'm just gonna stay in the Nier Automata universe. But there's nothing like to be jealous or to compare yourself with me about. You want to know why I get up and why I wake up and I do the things that I do and carry myself the way that I carry myself? I don't know why people think this is a joke or something, but I really want to be a father one day. A lot of times people comparing you to you and this and that whole time, the only thing you want in life, they got right at home. They get home, their kids run to them. Oh, daddy, I missed you, this and that. You want to do that? That's what I want, So don't compare my look, because it's like, niggas, y'all already be at the finish line. What you looking back at a nigga in 8th place for? Worried about what they doing, what they got going on. You know what I mean? You already won. You're already good. I'm at that age, bro. I'm at that age. I feel like I need something to call my own to protect. You know what I mean? But realistically, that's what we're supposed to do as men, right? As men, when we're born with this something instilled with us to go protect something. Kind of like how cats know to go hide when they die, when they're approaching end of life. I'll miss you, Luna. But it's a part of us. So you can't be, jealous of the next man trying to knock them off their purpose. You know what I mean? You just got to get on your grind and stay on your grind. And that's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about, bro. I went this whole time. I've been alone with no friends, but that doesn't mean I was truly alone. That doesn't mean I wasn't learning stuff. I've been working on myself for the last 15 something years. And it could be in the form of a podcast, a father podcast that I watched 8 years ago. Now I took that with me. I took all that stuff with me. And podcasts are everywhere. You're on YouTube. If you want to learn, it's right there. And you learn. And yeah, that's what I'm striving for. And it's because that I didn't have my father here. Never compare yourself to me, bro. Everything that I'm striving for and I want out of life, you got at home. And if you don't, then get on your grind too. Because life ain't worth living if you can't have an experience to share with people. You know what I mean? That's what life is about. It's about friendships, share. It's not even about working, really. Working, you can die the next day, and somebody gonna be there with your you feel me? Your title. Can fall in the dirt and just be gone. So don't put too much emphasis. Don't ever bring a whole bunch of work home with you. Once you walk out them doors, you gotta focus on yourself. You feel me? So weird. I used to be the type of person that took work home with me a lot. When I was at the Regal, that's why it kind of scarred me. It kind of scarred how you know what I mean? I don't like when I was at Regal, because I've always been this type of person that I am now. But when I was at Regal, the women there used to pick on me. They used to pick on me, bro, on some real shit. Not on no bullying shit. It was more kind of psychological, because how I am, how I'm talking to you now, how I always wanted to be a father. That means I also wanted to be one 4 or 5 years ago. And I shouldn't have been comfortable sharing that with people in the break room, or even if they bring it up and this and that, because, they used to pick on me. There was a woman over there. I was already 27, 26, and she was a younger, like someone that don't know shit, trying to like micromanage me if I'm trying to give a customer alcohol. Bitch, you can't even drink this shit. You're not even old enough. And this is the shit that be irking me, you know what I mean? I remember they made me clean the woman's restroom, which is not who gives a fuck, but I knew it was planned, that it was intentional, because they stuffed a bunch of shitty Pampers and like baby supply, like shit that you find in the toilet, and I cleaned it. And who gives a fuck? But I knew it was intentional. You know what I mean? Because they always used to pick on me. And then when they found out that wasn't working, this and that, they went to my boss and made all these false narratives and claims about me. And my boss there, he believed me. He believed me. He said, I don't even think you're the type of person that would do such a thing like that. But HR wants me to get rid of you. And they got rid of me. Never did anything. So that really destroyed how I form personal relations. If I want to let someone from work into my personal life, that's why I be closed off and weird about it. You know what I mean? It's because of that. Motherfuckers would know that though, if you wanted to have conversation, you know. You know that. You know what I mean? People assume, oh, you know, you can't do that, you can't do that, you do, bro. Just like, I don't know, bro. That shit'll fuck you up. You lose your job for some shit, false narrative that you didn't do, make you don't want to open up to people again. That's why I get weirded out about it. In order for me, we got to make sure both of us, or anything, for anyone for that matter, are on the same page. You know what I mean? That's how it is, bro. Anyways, what was it? The little story. But yeah, bro, that fatherhood shit, that means a lot to me. That means more than anything in the world. And you probably see me and you'd be like, oh, this guy, this person, if he put his mind to it, he could be this, he could be someone famous, he could be that, he could be this, but I don't want, bro, those hobbies, bro. That shit's just chatter. Those hobbies. That's not what I'm striving for. That shit just hobbies. I learned how to do that shit because I was bored. I ain't had no one. And that's some real shit. Everything about me, everything that you, musical, a trait, and y'all got the gift too. You know, just music. It's just all that. I still want to learn how to play bass guitar. I got to get a left-handed one, and I'll probably pick it up fast because I learned. But that don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? We're all taking the time to get to learn something. That's what y'all got to realize. Anyone for that matter. You don't just know how to. You got to take the time to learn how to dance. But it's kind of different for me. Well, not really, because I learned how to dance from watching so many K-pop videos from 2013 to 2015. And so when I freestyle, it's just a whole bunch of different types of moves that I've seen. But I know how to throw it all together to where it comes out so smooth. That's why if I'm ever, if you ever catch me in my zone and I'm looking like, it's like I picture the invisible K-pop camera filming me like I'm invisible. Whatever. I'm not even, how did we even get here? Whatever. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, bro. You want to get like me, bro? Just let's show up, bro. You gotta want to be better. You gotta want to do better. So one day, someone come by and they be like, they be like, you know what? Yeah, this is the person that I want to, protect me and this and that. Because this is men. This is what we supposed to do, bro. That's what we supposed to do. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm missing out. And I got, mental, sometimes, my head, probably, my brain starts to convince itself like, oh, I'm gonna die and this and that, and I gotta get on my meds and all that stuff. I be feeling kind of afraid to go to sleep at night. And then I gotta remind myself that this is the healthiest my body has ever been. Ever. And and that there's nothing wrong with me and you need to calm down. But still, like, I can go to sleep and I wake up with sleep paralysis. I can't have no one here to be like, yo, you good? You know, you wake up, you know, you're just sleep paralysis. You know what I mean? Oh shit, my bad. But still, man, that's how I be. That's how I be, yo. Don't compare yourself to me, because I'm not comparing myself to you. We on two different purposes. And if you already got your family, you got your kid and this and that, and you got people, you got something that you created to come home to, then I'm trying to get like you, my boy. Yeah, that's what I'm after. But I feel jaded. I feel like past traumas, and the way it made how I communicate with people. Think of it like this. When you go out, you're kind of wearing a mask, but not really. It's you, but you know what I mean? The person I am in a social setting, full of charisma. But at home, I'm kind of like a brown recluse, bro. I'm so damn private that they don't even send letters with my name on it over here. They know better. So I went and I had them. I paid for a thing to take me off the internet for, like, you know, so they don't send you shit. Because it was a whole thing going around when they was like taking your information. But anyways, I don't even get letters in my name unless it's a W-2 or if I ordered something. That's how low key I am, bro. And people got to learn how to communicate with low key people, because my communication is great. You see, I'm talking to you now, right? My communication is stellar, but you got to get past the trust barrier. That experience that I had with Regal, with them firing me over some stuff, and it's been feeling like that at Chipotle, yo. I've been feeling like they're trying to get rid of me or something. But at Regal, that experience that I shared earlier, that was the start of me not being open or closed off to even pursuing a relationship setting in the workplace. I don't know why people turn their nose up at relationship settings in the workplace. First of all, because damn near your whole entire life will be spent at work, and when you're not at work, you're home, only to go to sleep and go back. You're gonna do that your entire life. What you mean you can't form a personal relationship? But that's just how I am, bro. I would like to, but I can't. But I took the time. I took the time. Even though I was alone, most people, they buckle and they kill themselves when they're alone. You know what I mean? Some people can't handle their own loneliness. It gets to them. And I'm not, I gotta keep striving, because one day I'm gonna have that, that little family, that little type, and if I were to die, or, before it even happens, I would just feel so hurt. You know what I mean? Well, I won't feel anything. I'll be dead, but still, I just feel like before I close down in those last 5 minutes of your brain dreaming, I will feel like a failure, like I didn't accomplish anything, like I didn't do what I was set out, what God put on my heart to do. You know what I mean? But I learned it. If you want to feel smarter, just podcast, man. Go to sleep to them. That's what I do. Put them on low. Go to podcast, everything. There's so much. You want to look at my podcast? Let's see what I've been, there's one called Nothing Much Happens. I do have a hard time falling asleep at night, but there's a podcast called Nothing Much Happens, and it's a podcast about nothing much happening. And she tells you a little story, but she kind of does it as mirror, and she kind of tells it in a way to trigger your brain to go to sleep. I like her. Healthy Gamer. relationships and attachment styles. He's the guy on. He's good. He's like a little online therapist. He's got a little something up there for everybody. The Village of Nothing Much. This is a Good Morning podcast. Same people that made the Nothing Much podcast. I got Talk to Me in Korean. This is just a Korean podcast. And the way they've been going for a long ass time. They've actually been here for a very, very long time, but they used to teach me a lot of Korean phrases and stuff. But yeah, nowadays it's just all pure Korean. But those early ones, they'll teach you. Dry Creek Wrangler podcast, Candace, JRE. A lot of stuff, yo. There's a lot of stuff out here. I used to tune into the voice actor for Dragon Ball. She had a podcast called Should They Watch It? Yeah, I remember it. And they would just talk about, I don't even got kids, but they would just talk about, should kids watch this show and that show? And they would talk. And, that's kind of how she was open to talking to me. Because I met her on Twitter, obviously. But yeah. And we chatted it up and we talked and we were sending I already said it in my last podcast. But anyways, yeah, should they watch it? So I learned all this stuff. Literally, bro, you want to know the easiest pull? I'm the easiest pull in your life. Bro, if you interested in me, you set that difficulty slider all the way to very fucking easy and make it obvious. Bro, you got me. Because I already learned how to do all the other hard stuff in life. You should at least make that part easy. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to play games because when they learn the game, they can go and play it with other people. But I don't know. I don't allow enough people into my space to, what am I trying to say? I won't allow enough people into my private, space, my aura, you know what I mean? I don't. Once if you cut off, you cut off, bro. That's how it is, bro. I'm not gonna waste time dwelling. I gotta stay on my purpose, I still gotta wake up in the morning. I still gotta do my boxing in the morning. I still gotta, But yeah, yo. Yeah, man. That shit real. But I just hope, the energies at work, we can mellow out ourselves, because I didn't get enough hours, bro. This was so weird. I never worked, I've always worked a Monday. I have never not worked a Monday the whole time I've been there, and I've been off, and then my hours are cut, and it's kind of we're in the worst economy to have ever, and no job wants to hire like that, you know what I mean? They don't. It's really hard. I'm locked in on the TikTok. I see what people are saying. I see their struggles and what they talk about in the economy. I know it's really hard. My little brother has been trying to get a job. He asks me for money all the time, but he is trying. It's just hard, yo. It's really hard right now. And it's crazy because, I not to toot my own horn, but I work I work my ass off over there. I do, and I only got 16 hours, and someone I don't even know, but I've been told that when I do close, stuff goes smoothly, because I'm on my business, bro. That person got more hours than me, and based on what I've known, they don't, I'm not putting them down, I'm not gossiping about them, because they can take time to get better, but they're not doing as much quantity of work as me, so that really left a horrible taste in my mouth, you know what I mean? I've never got on a schedule, I've never got that much hours as this person just got. And I don't want to, I don't know, do people think I'm incompetent when it comes to handling a heavier duty? When I was at the hospital, working at the hospital, the margin of error was death. That's right, you guessed it. Do people think I can't handle things? Very particular. I can't handle. The only thing I can't really handle in life is, let's see. I can't handle I'm oblivious to the how and the getting into a relationship. I just don't know. It doesn't click for me. It doesn't work. But everything else that comes after, after your 6, 7, 8 years in a relationship, I learned that already. I learned that a long time ago. A long ass time ago. What's her name? Her name's Shan Boudrin. She a sex therapist. Yeah, I binged her shit like 6, 8 years ago, and she's still active today. And he's the guy. She married that guy that made that song that I was listening to. I probably played it. He's like, I've been trying to swerve, I'ma speed it on the freeway. Shawty used to call when she dance on the celly. And she's legit. Shan Boudrin's legit. But yeah, and then he even was on the podcast too with a whole bunch of dads, and they were talking about how do you crush like a pregnancy? You know what I mean? How are you there from a guy's perspective? And it was really good, and it was really fulfilling. And I watched that like 4 years ago. Yeah. And Shannon wasn't there. It was just her husband, and he was with a whole bunch of other dads, and it was like a round table discussion stuff about, you know what I mean? So it was cool. So I know a lot. Don't ever think I don't know a lot. I know a lot. Like I said, you waste time trying to pass this stupid shit test or whatever. You put that that difficulty slider on very easy. Be the easiest fucking pool of your life. Because, I don't know. Man. I feel like it's difficult because I only ever liked people. You know what I mean? Nothing has ever evolved past that, so I don't know. I feel like if you've liked and then you've loved and then you've progressed further and further, you know what I mean? If someone comes and, they crush your heart or whatever, you feel that more, you know what I mean? And in your next relationship, you carry that with you, you know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you carry those little bitty, that's how people have like baggage, relationship baggage and this and that. But if there's nothing, in my case, if there's nothing, then I can't really, if you're like, oh, well, I don't like you. And it's like, oh, okay, well, nothing happens inside, It just feels like, a loss. But like, if you never progress that far into your feelings, you can't really have it hit hard. You know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say? Some people, when they get their hearts broken, they'll make a beautiful love song or something. And that's why people always say, you should listen to this type of song only when you're, if you're going through a heartbreak. But it's like, bro, I fucking missed out. I don't know what to tell. I don't know. I'm just this silly little autistic little kid, little guy, little man. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I wanted to tell a story. Yeah, I can make it go for like an hour. There was a girl that I went to school with, but I didn't really know her like that. And we graduated and did our own thing. But one day, and this was back when Snapchat used to be popping, she was like, oh, does anyone have a place that I can stay? Because my peeps just kicked me out and this and that. And I was like, oh, I just wiped. I was like, yeah, sure, you can come chill over here. Not even for like a hidden motive or hidden agenda. And then she hit me up like 6 hours later, and she was like, oh, were you serious about that? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I live right here. I stay in my garage though, and this and that, blah 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 blah. But yeah, no, she came and she brought her stuff, and she used to play guitar, and we would just we used to sing and shit. And I showed her songs I written, and she showed me songs she written, and it was cool. She was chill people, yo. And this was when I was working at Foodco, by the way. But when she arrived, her leg was kind of, if I can remember correctly, it was her right one. She had her leg in a little, one of those things where people hurt their legs and you gotta walk like a little, little lopsided, you know, that little casting or whatever. But not when you're on crutches. It's the before that. It's like black. I don't know. I've never broke a bone before, so I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, and she was chill, and you know, she would do stuff too. Like, she was only here for like 2 days, but and we even shared the same bed, and I never once tried to make any like move on her or anything. It was kind of just like, just chill. All right, do you mind if I put this podcast on if I go to sleep? And she was like, oh no, I don't mind. And boom, and we went to sleep, and I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work, and then I'd come home and she did the laundry and all other stuff. And then the next day she said she needed a phone to go to Walmart. No, she said she needed a phone, so we went to Walmart on the under those little hut things, you know where you get a free phone. And she got her free phone. And the very next day when I went to work, she was gone. You know what I mean? I don't know why that happened. I didn't do anything, and I never made any weird moves or advances. It was just chill vibes. But you know, I went to work at 4, and then when I got off work, she was gone, and all her stuff was gone. No note, no nothing. But I was kind of younger. Well, not really younger. I was still pretty old. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe she never felt. I always, after that happened, I would always think to myself like, oh, maybe I did something wrong. I learned growing up to never do that. Don't ever. If no one gives you closure, then just don't. Who cares? Them leaving you was your closure. But I kind of, to see it from her perspective, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she was in a chaotic environment all the time, and she didn't know. She didn't, understand any calmness, Maybe people took advantage of her a lot, and she didn't understand how to interact with someone that wasn't going to do it. You know what I mean? So, I've noticed that when people, people say if they grew up in homes where it was a lot of yelling and arguing with parents and your kid, whatever, that they start to feel safe in that environment. They'll get into a relationship where it's not like that, but they want to go back to that environment because that's all they know. You know what I mean? So they look for relationships where there's chaos. You know what I mean? But she was cool though. She was cool. But yeah, she was only here for 2 days and we slept in the same bed for 2 days. Shared our music. Yeah. Hope that person's doing all right though. Hope that person's doing all right, cause shit real out here. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about. I don't know. TikTok has been removing my podcast episode videos for copyright claims. This is my audio, okay? This is me talking. I own this. I just sat here and talked for 43 minutes. You didn't. TikTok. I hate when they do that, because if you get too many of them, they'll like fucking strike down your account. In the TikTok algorithm, the system notification, when you report something, it's not ran by humans anymore. Humans don't interact with it. It's all bots. Those are robots. That's why if you ever been on TikTok and you commented something and then you instantly get hit with hey, you can't say that. That's because they injected AI to do that. So there's no way for you to tell them like, hey, you fucked up. They just be like, yo, system notification, bada bing bada boom. So yeah, so I really wish TikTok will cut it the fuck out and stop striking my videos. It's not cool. At least it's TikTok though. On YouTube, that shit's way worse. YouTube is 3 strikes and you're out. Your whole channel gets fucking yeeted. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all I want to talk about. Really want to be a dad. Still do. Don't want people to compare themselves to me. I'm nothing special. Yeah. I started playing Crisis Core. I'm playing as Zack now. I beat Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade. I didn't do Yuffie's intermission part because I want to beat Crisis Core, and then I'm going to buy Rebirth, and before I play Rebirth, I'm going to play through Yuffie's section, because I guess it works better like that or whatever. It's but she only has 2 chapters. 2 chapters. It was like DLC, but they included it when you bought the full, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I'm in Crisis Core. It's tight. It's cool. I like Crisis Core. Zack's funny. He reminds me of me. I think a lot of the Final Fantasy characters remind me of myself. That's why I like Final Fantasy VII so much. You know what I mean? I always see little hints and tidbits of my character, myself in those characters. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the Little While Ago podcast. If you're going to sleep, wait. If you are getting off of work, you should drive safe, and you should have a seatbelt on. And if anyone pulls up to you and they're like, "Yo, you want to race?" Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You tell that guy to fuck off. I think your life is a lot more precious and meaningful than someone on the street you'll never see. You know. And if you're going to sleep, put the pillow under your kneecaps and sleep like that. Because if you have back pain, that will alleviate back pain in the morning. You better listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Just put you on game. And I learned all this from podcasts. Health podcast. Yo, podcasts are amazing. Yo, if you want to get like me and you want to delete yourself off the whole internet and you just delete your whole entire digital footprint, keep your YouTube and keep your TikTok. That's all I have. YouTube and TikTok. And YouTube's in the shitter. I actually don't like using YouTube all that much. I prefer TikTok as a video source better than YouTube, but everything's on YouTube. Anyways, you'll never be, if you're afraid to be alone with yourself, just read books, yo, and then just listen to podcasts and have people talk. And I know it sounds kind of parasocial, but yo, that's how, I mean, I think a lot of us are lonely now. I think a lot of us are living the same lives, you know. Did you hear that study that I guess like 70 or 80% of men have checked out? Not checked out in a sense of, suicide, none of that. Just like they're kind of just like, they become, what's the word, you know, in China, how there's people in Asian countries, there's just people that just stay in the house and they're almost like social rejects. They stay in the house. Oh my God, what if I'm like that? What if I'm like that, dude? I kind of am like that. That's perfect, dude. Those people that stay inside the doors and they just, you know, don't interact with the outside world. But you wouldn't assume that. You would assume like this person is really charming and outgoing and has this social butterfly personality. But yo, it's like 2 separate coins. We're like night and day. Once I clock off and I get home, I'm like, go away. You know? Yeah, dude. I'm like, I shouldn't be like that. But the thing is, I'm not doing anything. You know what I mean? So I just got to keep getting better, right? Got to keep getting better and just get chose one day. And someone say, hey, that's the person that I need to protect. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm after. That's what I'm after. All right, anyways, yeah. Put the pillow over your butt and have a good night. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.